Hey Saggy, it's Jess here with your June 2020 reading, and in case you happen upon this in a different time and space, it is my hope and intention that this will still resonate with you if you were drawn to it in any way. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this. All right. Okay, that was a mess. All right, Saggy, so just really quick, I'm going to read this quote from my 1 Year Wiser quote book for the quote for June 1st, just to kind of set the tone. I've been doing this with all the readings, so we'll see what resonates with you. But it is, we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. Abraham Lincoln. So let's take a look at this here. First of all, maybe you have some Leo in your chart. I mean, you guys are fire signs together, so it makes sense that maybe you would have some similar energy coming through, just astrologically speaking, for this month. You have the Gambler card, and the light attribute is willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. And with the Capricorn card, I feel like you guys are looking to take some smart risks in your work situation, in gaining some kind of status, in achieving some kind of goal. And you are definitely following your intuition, but you're not doing it in a stupid way. Surprise, surprise. Sagittarians are usually really, really smart. And you have the Temperance card coming out as your focus card for like the spread. So that's your card. I mean, you are being well measured, you're being balanced, you're considering both sides, but at the same time, I feel like you might be at a point where this month you feel like you really want to take a risk. Something kind of comes to a head here where you're feeling like restricted or oppressed in some kind of way. I just feel like you feel restricted and stagnated, and you know, you're going a little stir crazy in your mind, because why do we have this energy coming out with Temperance? We have the Two of Wands, and this is the energy of fire feeling stagnated. But interestingly enough, it's feeling stagnated because of its own success. And that's something that I'm getting here. Like, you do have the Capricorn card here. I feel like you have achieved some kind of recognition in your life. Maybe things are a little bit stable, maybe a little bit too stable, borderline on stale, with the Temperance card. You know, I feel like you guys, you have a good routine. You know, you're pretty satisfied with your life, but there is some kind of calculated risk, is what I want to say, that you want to take this month, and you're just not sure how to go about it, because I feel like you got a pretty good setup, you know. But taking calculated risks sounds right up your alley as a Sagittarius, because this is the luck card, and people who live Jupiterian lives are quite lucky and very expansive, and they can afford to take some risks. So if you are feeling that pull, which I feel like you are, you just feel yourself more and more pulled towards it this month. You just don't know which way to choose, because the way this is manifesting in your life, we have the Chariot card, and this is masculine power. The 7 is a masculine power number. The Chariot is the moon, and you're trying to figure out how to best funnel that intuitive energy into action, because you're ready to move forward. For some of you guys, you're ready to travel somewhere. Maybe you know, literally, like, you might just want to take a trip and have your stable foundation to come back to, and you're trying to figure out the best way to kind of make that work, how to have the best of both worlds, in a sense. And you are a dual sign, so it makes sense that you want to have your cake and eat it too a little bit, and you have the ability to do that, to pull things into balance. There's a reason that Temperance is a Saggy card, and it's really potent too, because I feel like this is just, you know, a little psych knowledge. The ego mitigates between the id and the superego. The id being that lower nature, and the superego being the higher nature. And the Sagittarius is the beast becoming man. that's the duality in Sagittarius, is becoming, like, merging that id and the superego, the lower self and the higher self. And it's an extremely divine card. That's why the ninth house it rules over, our gurus and spirituality, travel, experience, those kinds of things. So you're being a full Sagittarius this month, you guys. And there might be something significant later on in the year that might come more to fruition when Sagittarius turns to Capricorn. That seems to be it. That is a big time of year for a lot of people, because we are, in Capricorn season. We're working towards a Jupiter, your planetary ruler, Saturn, Capricorn ruler conjunction. We have the planet of restriction and the planet of expansion coming together in what is known as the Great Conjunction. So there might be something coming together. I believe that's happening on December 21st. So yeah, that's just something to kind of keep in mind, that you might have some kind of culmination of this energy around that time. Now, is there anybody else involved? The Six of Swords. Yeah, there could be a family involved. There could be children involved, but I feel like it's people that you kind of, maybe that you work with, that you see in your everyday life and experiences, and also maybe people you haven't seen in a while with the Six of Swords. Because I just feel like the Six of Swords is, you want to move away from something into something better. And I feel like you're almost sneaking away from people. And there might be a couple of people that are very dear to you that you want to take along, or some people, you might be considering that some people rely on you in a more substantial way here. That could be coming through with the Two of Wands, and that could be keeping you in this state of kind of dissatisfaction. So there are other people kind of on your mind this month, but you're thinking about how you can make this a satisfactory thing for everybody. Like, you're being super great about it. I'm not saying that, you might have to make a decision here, but with the Temperance card, like, you're trying to really think this through holistically, and weigh all of your options and all the variables involved. So the obstacle here is the Five of Swords, which can be some kind of, like, I want to say bullying or humiliation. Like, that's what I'm saying, is maybe there's people that you feel like you protect or that rely on you in some way. And with the Five of Swords coming through with, like, this Capricorn energy, I just feel like you don't want to lose out on something. And maybe you feel like if you did leave, somebody would take advantage of your absence, and somebody, like, maybe wants you out of the picture, maybe on the job front or something like that. And that person maybe isn't the best person. Maybe they are just status oriented and they don't really care about the feelings of other people and who they have to hurt to get wherever it is that they want to go. Another way that this Five of Swords could be coming through is that you might have to hurt people in order to have this come through. And that's what's putting you in this Eight of Swords. And this, weirdly enough, is the highest vibrational outcome of this situation. And I asked why, because I've been getting a lot of these, like, seemingly bad cards in the highest possible outcome. And, we're spiritual people here on the tarot channels. And of course there's some negative energies that we need to be embraced, right? And so I feel like this stagnation energy, I'm getting stagnation with the Eight of Swords, and I do feel the energy of oppression here. Like, I just feel like there might be a work situation or some situation where a group is involved that you feel oppressed, and it's like, you're doing fine, like, you can maintain it, but do you want to? And that's what you're trying to go within and ask yourself. But I feel like during this month, you don't really know how you're going to move forward, but you have a lot of hope, and I feel like you do know that you have the power to end this cycle. You're not wanting to hurt other people. So the way that you lean into this highest vibrational outcome, you have 2 eights, which is divine feminine power energy. And it's also like the energy of the 8th house. Like, there is some of this, I feel like you're processing internally and kind of behind the scenes and under the scenes here. Under the scenes? Sure. With the 8 of Cups. So you're trying to get some kind of clarity, you're trying to get more information, and you're trying to get a break or a breather, like, even if it's just a few days where you can clear your head and get away from, I feel like you're taking on other people's emotional problems as well, because you're sweet, and that's something that's keeping you in this stuck energy. But your advice card is to start a new journey with the Page of Pentacles and to move in the direction that you feel called and that you're enamored to. Because I think you just, like you said, I feel like you have this intuitive hit here with the Gambler, willingness to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. I do think that the journey of 1,000 the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, you know, and you might have to take a hit to like your pay or your status. You might have to move away. You might have to take a risk, but it's a calculated risk. And, you know, it might just not be, maybe not this month with the Eight of Swords, because I feel like with the World card, the reason this is the highest vibration is the world is in chaos, is literally what I think. Like, it's not time to make some kind of move, like, because literally I asked, why is this the highest vibration? And we had the world. Like, the world is the answer to that question. Well, look at the world, Jessica. So it might not be exactly the time for you to make your moves, but you certainly are making your strategy, making your plan, stoking those fires of feeling really inspired by something and starting to move away from maybe some depressed energy or overly emotional energy, and just clearing your head, getting excited, doing some research, looking at some pictures online if this is a place you want to move to, or you know, working on a business plan, starting to make this really tangible with the Page of Pentacles here, even if you can only do a little bit, you know, in an isolated state. Because yeah, like, this is why the learned helplessness card came out with the Eight of Swords, is because yeah, you probably could make it happen, but it wouldn't, like this month, you could probably just jump right into it and end this cycle, but it wouldn't be necessarily high vibrational. I feel like the universe does kind of want you to wait for the world to calm down a little bit here. And to, there's some part of this that I feel like you can do online, you know, that maybe you should start, that's the step that you should start with here. So yeah, there's definitely some calculated energy. I don't know if you have Leo in your chart. Maybe you want to check that video out. But that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that resonated. If it did, please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys when I see ya. Bye.